Everyone, this is Tell the Truth Sports Radio. I'm your host, Ron Fitch. I'm going to tell you the truth about the Lakers Warrior series. That was kind of the showcase series, other than the Suns in Denver, and that was a beatdown. Um, I'll get to the rest of the NBA in my next segment, but the Lakers beat up on the Warriors. Surprised me. Got all the game sixes. I figured this would be the toughest one for the team that had 3-2 to win because the Warriors are the defending champions, and they always find a way. Steve Kerr never lost the Western Conference playoff series. He lost a play-in to LA. So LA did win. And it was very impressive. They really, and what really helped, they got off to a good start. They gave them the confidence because they want Golden State to feel it. So I was very, very impressed with how they came out, and then Golden State came back, and they came right back. And I think the shot that kind of ended everything for Golden State was Reeves after 80's shot block. Reeves 50-footer, bam, makes the shot. They go up 10 and stabilize them after a Golden State comeback. They kind of went back and forth, and LA got up big toward the end, ended up winning. LeBron had 30, 2 or 3 from 3-point, but he was going inside. AD had 17 and 20 rebounds. And they both went inside. And when they didn't go inside, they got beat. When they went inside, they won every game. And LeBron got in the post. AD put his rear end in the post, used his size, caught the ball inside. And when Reeves and Russell were open, they hit the threes. Russell hit 2. Reeves hit 4. He's 4 or 5 from 3. Reeves had 23, Russell had 19. And that's going forward. Their only chance against the Nuggets is the Reeves and the Russells and the Hachimuras and the Lonnie Walkers have been to put up a lot of points. Denver's very difficult to stop, but they did what they had to do. They were a little deeper, and they took care of business, and they're really playing good. And their defense was solid. They play smart team defense, and I got to give Darvin Ham credit. He really came in here and established his first press conference. You could tell he was going to impose his coaching will on his team in a positive way, and it has worked. So that's a good thing. Before we go forward, I do want to acknowledge the Golden State Warriors. A lot of people don't like them. A lot of Steph Curry is very popular, so they do have fans across the country that love them. But there's people that are tired of them winning, so they try to celebrate their loss or whatever. But I'm here to celebrate them, whether they win any more championships or not. And I do believe they're going to try to retool. That's a competitive general manager and owner we're talking about. They're going to do everything they can to retool. I want to salute the run they had. I think Klay Thompson, you know what it is? He was 3 of 19 from 3. His legs aren't there. He's a little older, but not just older. This team, the miles on the legs of this team's a shooting team, and they shoot the lights out. But they're getting a little older, so there's going to be some droughts. They're going to have a couple of hot days. They're going to have a couple of cold days. They don't have that inside presence. I don't think it would happen, but if I could get a Karl Towns or Golden State to go inside out and kind of rechange the way they go about, that will add years to Curry and maybe bring Thompson off the bench. They're probably going to let Jordan Poole go. He just when he got paid, it's just the mentality. He's his own man. I don't know. I mean, I didn't like what Draymond Green. You shouldn't have punched him. But where did that come from? He must have got provoked so bad that the temptation to punch Poole was too great for a guy that's volatile like a Draymond Green to just go ahead and do it, which he shouldn't have. But there had to be a root cause why it led all the way to that. And he just looks like he's just not connected with this franchise. A change of scenery is important. I don't know what they're going to do with the rest of the younger guys. They're going to go for it. They're not going to be satisfied with just being mediocre. They're going to go for it. But I salute what they did. There's miles on this team. You go to the championship 6 years, go to NBA Finals six times in 8 years. After a while, that's going to take his toll. Even you see, that's why LeBron, he's in great conditions. He's big and strong. So that adds years to his life as far as basketball life. But even LeBron, it comes and goes now because of his age, all the years he played the finals. But there's years he didn't make the playoffs. I think that kind of saved him. So here he had 30, but he can't do that. This is the first time he had 30 the whole playoffs this year. But he has to just pick his spots. That's why you need the Reeves and Russells of the world, Hachimura's, to just do their thing. So that way he has the energy, him and AD to have the energy to do what they have to do. It's just that simple. Going forward, this is going to be a tough series with LA and Denver. The Denver Nuggets have never beaten the Lakers. Now, Golden State had a bad history with the Lakers. They only beat the Lakers one time in their franchise history, going all the way back to the Philadelphia Warriors. The only time the Warriors ever beat the Lakers were in '67, and Rick Barry, that's what the great Rick Barry destroyed LA. And they went on to lose to that great Sixer team in '67. Wilt Chamberlain, Hal Greer, and those dudes. And they didn't have the greatest history. And then the Lakers beat them in the playoff game. They just have a history of always beating Golden State. The Lakers have a history of they've never lost to the Nuggets. And this is going back to David Thompson losing to Kareem the year before Magic came. The time Magic and them ran the really offensive-minded Nuggets off the court with Alex English and Van Wayne, them dudes. Kobe beating Carmelo and Billups. That was a good team, but the Lakers were a little better. And then the year I felt like the Nuggets were better, they lose the Lakers in 7 when Kobe just went off. The year after the year, the Lakers won their 5th title with Phil Jackson, ended up losing to OKC the next series. But I wonder if Denver's due. They've been the best team in the West all year long. They've been together. This is a terrific year. And they've been Murray, and the synergy between Murray and Jokic is ridiculous. Jokic destroyed the Suns. They fired Monty Williams, by the way. Destroyed the Suns. The Suns got blown out again by the Nuggets. That was a mess. And Jokic destroyed the listless Ayton. They got to get rid of Ayton. Matching up with the Lakers. Now, AD's had great games against Joker, but Joker is going to be very motivated. Vanderbilt Murray is a big matchup, but it's not guarding Joker and Murray. It's the system. Malone is a great coach. His father was a great assistant coach under the Bad Boy Pistons. And he learned from his dad. He hasn't won a championship, but he's underrated as a coach. And I just believe that it's going to be very difficult for LA. This is going to be a series. The only way LA wins, if Russell, Hachimura, and Reeves play well every game. Any game they don't play well, they're going to get annihilated. And that is a very, 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 very important aspect, because you got to make sure Caldwell Pope don't go off. You got to make sure Porter doesn't. You got to take Michael Porter's airspace away, because his job is to catch and shoot. But LA did a good job against Golden State the last game getting back. They're not the best team at getting back on defense. If they don't get back on defense, it's going to be a 5-game series and Denver wins. They'll get run out of the gym in Denver and in LA. And Denver is going to be hard to win. And Denver's not afraid to go to LA and win a game. LA's been undefeated in LA. This is going to be the only way. The only chance the Lakers have probably is to walk into Denver in a game 7 and win. They're going to have to beat Denver twice in Denver. You can't just rely on the home field court against Murray and those guys, which are very poised. See, the Grizzlies were a trash-talking, overrated mess. Golden State was a great champion, but they probably, because of the lack of inside game, they shot themselves in and out of games. Denver's a whole different monkey. They'll go inside. They're very structured in the half court. Where LA, and you got to rebound. If you don't rebound, they get second chance points. You pay for it. Murray's slick. So not only is he good scoring, but he's also very good setting the others up for open shots. You got to make sure Bruce Brown, you got to box Bruce Brown out. Vanderbilt defense is very important. Reeves defense on Murray. That one thing LA does have, they have taller guards, so that will help. But you're not going to be able to stop Denver. You could slow them down, and then you need to score more, and that's your hope. You don't do that, and you got to be tough on the road. You got to make sure that you make quality, important game-stealing baskets in Denver. You're probably going to have to beat them twice. Preferably, you probably want to get the first two, get game 5, and then try to close them out game 6. Don't be stupid like the Sixers were in the fourth quarter, game 6. Don't do that. I'll get to that in my next segment, my final segment. But I like LA's chances if they could be 3-2 up going home. But if they have to go to Denver game 7, LeBron's been there. AD is one. He's beaten Denver with a big shot in the bubble, but Denver is hungry, and you just wonder if Denver's due to finally beat LA after all these year after year after year of losing to LA. And there were a couple times where they were actually a better team. The year in '79, this is probably before everybody's time. They had David Thompson and Dan Issel and them dudes, and they were coming out of ABA, and they were really good, and they were playing the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar team without Magic. It's the year before Magic. The Lakers were good, but this is before they went on that long Showtime run, and Denver lost to them in a 3-game series. And Denver, the last time they played them, Denver was better, and they lost to the Lakers in 7 in the first round. No, the last time before Jokic. Then the bubble, they were competitive, but LA was better. But Jokic and Murray, the way they beat the Suns, they're hungry. They're desperate. I want to get to the finals. I want to validate how great I am, as Jokic would think. He's been 50 points, 40 points, assist. He's tough inside. AD plays him tough, but he better play him real tough. LA better come to play every night. Even if they lose, you still have to come to play against Denver. I would say Denver would be favored. They should be. LA's playing they're on a roll ever since they went 2-12. It's going to be a great series. Either it's LA's time or Denver's finally due to at least get to the finals. But I hope, as an LA fan, I hope they win. But Denver's really, really, really good. Oh, the Sixers blew a golden opportunity to finish the Celtics off. It's a game 7. Game 7. There's been a lot of great game 7s in the Boston Sixers history, but currently they blew a golden opportunity in Sixers, and the Celtics were dying. They got up big. Sixers came back, and they were right there. Before that 14-3 run to end the game by the Celtics, they were turning the ball over, and you could tell when the Sixers, Niang hit a 3, the Sixers went 4. If they could have scored, they missed a couple of layups. If they could have scored, got up 6 or 7, I think Boston, that'd have been the end of Boston. And they missed an opportunity because Horford didn't make a shot. Brown was messing up. Tatum was dying at that point. I mean, not literally, but I mean, he wasn't playing as good before the 16-point fourth quarter outburst. And then once the Celtics saw the Sixers didn't want it, they just took over and finished the quarter out. And Tatum hit some tough shots, a couple tough 3s, step back 3. I'm going to tell you the problem was Harden. It wasn't just that he didn't score. And then they didn't get the ball inside to Embiid where they should have. But Harden's decision-making was not smart. He kept passing the ball to Melton. Melton was off. Melton didn't make a single shot. And I'm like, why you pass this guy the ball? And he's not going to make it. He just kept shooting and missing and shooting and missing. And by that time, the Celtics are starting to – they're getting the ball to Tatum. The Celtics got the ball to the guy they needed to get to. The Sixers didn't. And that's on Doc Rivers. And they put Williams on Embiid. He did a better job, but Embiid's got to destroy everybody. Embiid, you're the MVP. You got to get that game home and get the series over with and get ready for the Heat. And now you're not. Now you're going to Boston. This is the problem. Boston was horrible the last game. Horford's been down. Brown's been down. This is the problem. Now you got to hope that Brown is going to go 6 for 13 again. Al Horford's going to go 1 of 5 and miss all his 3-point shots. Because if Horford all of a sudden, game 7, he shows up, hits a couple threes, the game's over. This could end quickly. Soon as they lay going to knock out 15-0 runs on the Sixers, that's going to be it. Because now Doc Rivers will tighten up because he's lost a number of 3-2, 3-1 leads over and over and over and over and over. I don't know if he tightens up. The Sixers have to get off to a good start. They won't blow the Celtics out. They won't come out like that's not going to happen. But just hang around, and then Harden's got to go off, and Embiid's got to go off, and they got to be better than Brown and Tatum because Tatum's going to go off. Tatum's not going 1 for 8 to start the game and then heat up. He's going to come out hot. If Brown comes out hot and Brogdon doesn't turn the ball over like he did, and he plays solid, that's going to be hard because White has played okay. What if Horford and Tatum is going to give you good, hard numbers, 19 and 9. He probably do that, but what scares you if you're a Sixer fan, you blew game 6 when you had the momentum. Boston is awoken. They were dead after game 5, and they're going to be alive, and they're going to be motivated. And Horford, especially, that's the guy you got to watch. Because now when he's open, if he hits that first 3, he's going to hit the second 3, he's going to get it all back, and that'll separate the game. If he's still off, and Brown's still off, the Sixers will have an opportunity. If those guys are on, and Brown and Tatum are playing well, I don't trust Harden. Every time Harden has great numbers in playoffs. Every big game that means an opportunity to go to the next level, Harden has come up small. What gives you the idea that Harden's going to show up now? I hope he does. I like to see the Sixers and the Heat, but I would think it would be the Celtics and Heat. The Heat will be happy. They want to pay the Celtics back. They got their heart broken on their court. They would love to go game 7 in Boston and pay them back because the Heat they're tough. They're not as better. They're not better than the Sixers and the Celtics, but they got so much heart. I wouldn't sleep on them. I would probably still favor the Celtics if they play them. I don't know if I'd favor the Sixers over them because I barely trust Harden, but I'm leaning toward Boston because of the opportunity that the Sixers lost and Doc Rivers and Harden and even Embiid. I don't think they'll be disciplined enough to go in Embiid. They go inside the Embiid. If Boston doubles, now you kick it out to Maxey. Now the others get a little more open shots. They'll hit shots. They'll give you the confidence to hang around with Boston. But I don't trust that Doc Rivers will be smart enough. I do respect Doc Rivers, but I don't think as a team they'll be smart enough to just do what they're supposed to do and get it inside to Embiid and then let Harden be aggressive and then they both be aggressive. I just don't believe that. I don't believe either of them will do what they're supposed to do. But I do trust Tatum. He's in a long list of great forwards, but he wants to win a title. The Boston's always had great forwards. You look at Sam Jones, you look at Havlicek, then you look at Bird, and then you look at Paul Pierce, and now you look at Tatum. And Tatum wants to be on that, but he has to win before he could claim that. And Game 7 will go a long way. Boston and the Sixers have some great Game 7. Look at the Havlicek steals the ball. Remember that? Johnny Most call. And then Nate Archibald had a great game when they beat the Sixers in 81. And then when the Sixers they're going to blow a 3-1 series like they did in 81. They lose Game 6, and everybody in Philadelphia writes them off. And then the Boston Celtics come in. The fans come with the ghost of past. and they're mocking the Sixers, and then here comes Andrew Toney coming out of nowhere, the Boston Strangler, light them up. Can the Sixers need an Andrew Toney type performance from Maxey? That's just gonna, because the Sixers are, this is another type of group that's been criticized, can't win the big one. Embiid's always been stuck here. Can they do like the Sixers and overcome and win a game 7 in Boston that they really are not picked, and they really, no one really believes they're going to do or going to win?